$28,000. That's what Marcus stole from me in 6 months. But here's the thing that still makes my hands shake when I think about it. I used to be just like him. 40 years ago, I was the one running cons on lonely people. And the universe made damn sure I'd recognize my own playbook when it was used against me. I'm 82 years old now, and I need help with just about everything. Can't drive anymore since the stroke 3 years back. My daughter Linda lives 2 hours away in Houston, works full time, and visits twice a month when she can. The rest of the time, I'm here in my little house outside Fredericksburg, Texas, surrounded by nothing but mesquite trees and silence. That's how people like Marcus find people like me. We're isolated, we're vulnerable, and we're visible. He knocked on my door on a Tuesday in March. I remember because it was the day after my water heater had started making that god-awful banging noise. I opened the door to find this man, maybe 55, with kind eyes and a toolbox in his hand. "Harrison, I'm Marcus Webb. I do handyman work in the area. And your neighbor, Mrs. Chen, mentioned you might be having some plumbing issues. I hadn't told Mrs. Chen about my water heater, but I was too embarrassed to admit I didn't know which neighbor he was talking about. My memory isn't what it used to be." "Well, yes, actually, my water heater's been acting up, but I haven't called anyone yet. Chen was worried about you. Mind if I take a look? No charge for the inspection." That should have been red flag number 1, but when you're elderly and alone and something's broken, a helpful stranger feels like a blessing from God himself. He fixed my water heater that day, charged me $60, which seemed reasonable. But more than that, he talked to me, really talked, asked about the photos on my mantle, laughed at my stories, made me feel like a person instead of just an old woman waiting to die. "You know, Mrs. Harrison," he said as he was packing up his tools, "I stop by this area every week or so. Would you mind if I checked in on you? My own grandmother lives alone in Waco, and I always wish someone was looking out for her the way I could look out for you." My chest tightened with gratitude. That would be wonderful. Marcus, truly, and just like that, he was in my life. He came by every Thursday afternoon. Sometimes he'd fix little things, a loose cabinet hinge, a sticky door. Other times he'd just sit and have coffee with me. He'd bring pastries from the German bakery in town, the ones I loved but couldn't drive to get anymore. 6 weeks in, he noticed me struggling with my bills at the kitchen table. "Harrison, you're paying way too much for that cable package. And this electricity rate, Jesus, they're robbing you blind. Would you like me to help you sort through this stuff? I do this for my grandmother all the time." I handed him my bills with relief flooding through me. Someone who understood all this confusing paperwork, someone who cared enough to help. I was so damn grateful. That night, as I lay in bed, something flickered in the back of my mind. A memory from 1962, when I was young and desperate and running short cons in Dallas. I targeted a widow once, gained her trust by helping her with home repairs after her husband died. But I pushed the thought away. Marcus wasn't like that. Marcus was genuine. The next week, he came back looking worried. "Harrison, I need to talk to you about something serious. When I was helping with your bills, I noticed your bank statement on the table. I wasn't snooping, I swear. But I couldn't help seeing. Do you know someone's been accessing your account?" My heart stopped. "What? No, That's impossible. There are small charges here, $5, $10. That's how identity thieves test accounts before they drain them. I've seen this happen to 3 other elderly folks. I help. We need to move your money somewhere safe, right now, before they take everything. The panic that shot through me was immediate and overwhelming. My savings, everything I had left in this world at risk. What do? Should I call the bank? Banks take forever, and by the time they investigate, the money could be gone. Look, I have a secure account we could transfer it to temporarily, just until we figure out what's happening. My business account is protected, insured. Your money would be completely safe. I stared at him, and for just a moment, I saw myself 40 years ago, standing in another widow's kitchen, telling her I could protect her money. The same concerned expression, the same urgency, the same solution that conveniently involved giving me access to everything. But then Marcus put his hand over mine. Harrison, I know this is scary, but I promise you, I'm here to help. You trust me, don't you? And God help me, I did. Or I wanted to, because the alternative was being alone with this terrifying problem, and I was so tired of being alone. How would we do it? Over the next 2 weeks, Marcus helped me transfer $28,000, my entire savings, into what he said was a secure holding account. He showed me paperwork that looked official. He gave me account numbers. He called me every evening to update me on the investigation. The bank is being really difficult, he told me on day 12. But don't worry, I'm handling it. Your money is safe with me. That word "with" made something cold settle in my stomach. Not in the account, with him. I called Linda that night. My hands shook so badly I could barely dial. Mom, what's wrong? I need you to look into someone for me. A man named Marcus Webb. He's been helping me. But helping you how? When I explained about the money transfer, the silence on the other end of the line lasted so long I thought the call had dropped. Her voice was careful, controlled. I'm coming over tomorrow. Don't do anything else until I get there. And don't give him another penny. She arrived the next morning with a police officer and someone from my bank. The bank representative pulled up my statements on his laptop, and there they were, the small test charges Marcus had shown me. Except they'd all been made on the same day, right after Marcus had access to my account information. Harrison, the officer said gently, this is a classic scam. He created the problem so he could offer the solution. And there is no secure holding account. Your money is gone. The room spun $28,000. My entire safety net. The money I'd need for medical care, for emergencies, for my funeral so Linda wouldn't be burdened. But underneath the horror, something else stirred. Something I hadn't felt in 40 years. Anger. Not just at Marcus, but at myself. Because I'd known, deep down, I'd recognized my own con, and I'd let it happen anyway because I was lonely and scared and desperate for someone to care. I want to help you catch him, I said. The officer looked skeptical. Ma'am, these people usually disappear once they get the money. He won't, not yet. I knew this because I knew the game. He thinks I have more. He saw my house, saw that I'm alone. He'll come back to squeeze me for whatever's left. They didn't believe me at first, but I insisted. I knew Marcus would call, and he did. that very evening. Harrison, great news. I've almost got your money secured, but there's a small transfer fee we need to handle, just $500 to complete the process. My voice didn't shake when I answered. Marcus, I need to see you in person to discuss this. Can you come by tomorrow? I'm having trouble understanding everything over the phone. Of course, sweetheart. I'll be there at 2. The next afternoon, Marcus knocked on my door, right on schedule. His smile was warm, trustworthy. He had a folder under his arm, probably more fake paperwork to show me. When I opened the door, his smile widened. Harrison, I've got wonderful. He stopped because Linda was standing behind me, and the police officer was standing behind her. I watched his face change, watched the mask slip. For just a second, I saw what I must have looked like 40 years ago when my own con collapsed, that flash of calculation, deciding whether to run or talk his way out. He chose to run. He made it to his truck before the officer tackled him. As they handcuffed him, he looked at me with such hatred that it would have frightened me if I hadn't seen that expression in my own mirror decades ago. The police found 12 other victims. Marcus had been running this operation across 3 counties for 2 years. Linda helped me file a civil suit, and while I never got all my money back, the court awarded me $18,000 from the sale of his assets. More importantly, the local news covered the story. They interviewed me on camera, and I told them everything, including my own history. I was a con artist in my 20s, I said, looking directly at the camera. I did terrible things to lonely people, and 40 years later, someone did the exact same thing to me. So I know how this works. I know the playbook. The reporter looked startled, but I kept talking. They find you when you're isolated. They create problems only they can solve. They make you feel like you'll lose everything if you don't trust them. And then they take everything because you did. They're patient. They're kind. They make you feel less alone. And that's the most dangerous part, because we want so badly to believe that someone actually cares. Marcus pleaded guilty to 12 counts of elder fraud. He got 8 years. It won't give me back my savings, and it won't erase my guilt for what I did to others decades ago. But every time I think about his face on the news, his name in the paper, his reputation destroyed, I feel something like peace. The universe made me live long enough to recognize my own con, and then it gave me the chance to stop it from happening to someone else. That's not redemption, not really, but it's something, and at 82, I'll take what I can get.